This is the bridge, but it's not just a place where you steer the ship. In a modern tanker, navigational, engine control, communication, and all other major operational functions are consolidated in the bridge. The ship is autopiloted via a global positioning satellite system. This is a precision instrument we're talking about here, so it's probably best to leave it alone. What you're wielding right now is a converted Beretta M92F, designed to fire tranquilizer rounds. A direct hit will knock the target unconscious. Think of those rounds as tiny syringes. The impact of the round causes the mixing of two chemicals in the shell. The resulting gas compresses a tiny piston and injects the tranquilizer in the bullet's tip into the target's skin. The tranquilizer's effects are felt at different times depending on where the bullet lands. A head or heart shot will take effect immediately, but a round that hits somewhere like feet or hands will take a while. Use the first-person view attack for maximum accuracy. The gun is fitted with a suppressor, so there's no need to worry about alerting the enemy with the noise. But since it is a tranquilizer gun, the M9 has its limitations. All it can do is knock the enemy unconscious. Keep that in mind. Snake, don't let the enemy spot you. Once you've been discovered by a sentry, he'll call in reinforcements and there will be an attack. Even you're no match for that level of organized assault. They have better weapons too, remember? We aren't terrorists, okay? Avoid unnecessary confrontations and go for total stealth, all right? As soon as you're spotted by an enemy soldier, he'll call for backup on his radio. The search party that's gonna show up as a result is a tough bunch. For one thing, they have better equipment, like body armor. But the main thing is that they're highly trained in search and destroy types of activities. They'll come as a team and attack as a team. Don't try to take them straight on. If you're spotted, you need to stop the sentry from calling for backup. Take him down before he has the chance to use the radio. You can also break out the chaff grenade and interfere with the message transmission to prevent any alerts from being issued. If you take out the radio, the sentry will have no way of calling for help. Radios are worn behind the right hip. You should be able to target it in first-person view. If he does manage to call for backup, get yourself in deep hiding before they arrive. Push the action button near a scalable railing to hang off the other side. This is called hanging. You can use it to move around, hide, and even maneuver around an enemy's back. You can move the left stick or use the L2 and R2 buttons to move left and right while hanging. When you're ready to pull yourself up, just push the action button again. A grip gauge appears below the life gauge during hanging. The grip gauge indicates how tightly you're holding on and steadily decreases as long as you're in hanging mode. When the grip gauge goes to 0, you won't be able to hold on anymore. You need to hoist yourself up before you fall off. Push the crawl button while hanging to jump down straight below. If the ground is too far below, you'll lose some life. In some places, you won't make it at all. Be careful of that. If it's about waist high, you'll be able to climb up or over things with the action button. Keep that in mind. Change to first-person view with a weapon selected. Once you aim your weapon with the weapon button, you're ready to attack in first-person view. Using the first-person attack allows you to shoot high or low. You can aim for the enemy's head or even feet. The L2 and R2 buttons let you strafe during first-person attacks. You can crouch, too, with the crawl button. Once you've mastered all the moves, you'll be able to do things like jump out from concealment, fire at a target, and then drop out of the enemy's view again. When you're flattened against the surface behind a corner, you're in corner view. You'll be able to survey the area without exposing yourself. The corner view lets you take a look ahead with the L2 and R2 buttons. Or you can jump out with your weapon ready. Take advantage of all the action. Push the L2 or R2 button while in corner view to move your head and take a quick look in that direction. You'll be able to see farther in corner view, but there's a greater chance of being discovered. Keep that in mind. Move the right stick while in corner view to look in that direction. The difference between this and using left step and right step buttons is that you won't be exposing yourself to possible enemy fire. At the same time, because you're staying in the same position, your range of vision is more limited. If you have a weapon selected while in corner view, push the weapon button to jump out of concealment and aim your weapon. You can use this while you're standing or crouching. It should help during gunfights. Bodies can be moved to another location by dragging. First, make sure no weapon is selected. Then push the weapon button near the body to grab it. As long as you have a hold on the body, you'll be able to drag it. Let go of the weapon button when you're done. It's a bad idea to leave enemies where they've fallen. Hide the bodies to make sure no one sees them. I recommend you hide the enemy's body as soon as you've taken them down. The tranquilized and unconscious enemies will wake up sooner or later. As for soldiers you've killed, the body will become too stiff to move in a short while. Keep that in mind. You can also hide the enemy's body in a locker. All you have to do is open the locker and drag the body there. The Cypher's what it looks like, a flying surveillance saucer. It's an unmanned aerial vehicle used for ground and ocean surveillance, and it also assists in communication. It can take off and land vertically, and uses a ducted airstream from its rotors and the surrounding shroud to fly. The one you saw was the type used by the Army, if I recall. But I can't see the Army officially cooperating with a top-secret Marine Corps project.
No, which means that there's someone besides us and the Russians that are interested in the new Metal Gear prototype.
Cyphers can stay airborne for about 3 hours, so there should be an integrated mobile ground station controlling its flight pattern and output nearby. It's got to be on land. I'll bet you anything it's disguised as a regular truck or something, driving along Riverside. Let me check it out.
Good call.
Snake, if you sustain damage from enemy attacks, it could increase your chances of capture. The bloodstains would lead them right to you, and that's another reason you should stay away from trouble as much as possible. If your life gauge is down to the point where it's red, the bleeding won't stop. As long as you're bleeding, your life gauge will keep dropping gradually. Besides that, the bloodstains could put the enemy on your trail. The only way to stop the bleeding for good is to let your body recover until the life gauge is green. Rations are the best way to do that. Try to crouch down or assume crawl position and stay still while you're bleeding. Your life will recover bit by bit. I'd recommend that you stay in hiding until the bleeding stops, if possible. Snake, the M9's anesthetic rounds have different effects depending on where it hits. If you manage to land them on the head or the heart area, the enemy will go down immediately. If it's hands or feet, it may take a while for the anesthetic to take effect. Try using the first-person view to aim with higher accuracy. Aim the gun and push the L1 button to automatically lock onto the target. You can use this feature from first-person view or from top view as well.
Kill me.
Freeze.
No! If you're going to shoot, then shoot me. Please don't.
Freeze.
Are you going to shoot me?
Freeze.
Help!
Freeze.
Huh? Don't kill me.
Freeze.
Help!
Freeze. Freeze.
Huh? What are you? Don't kill me.
That must be the crew lounge. The tanker's crewmen would relax here when they're off shift. There's a lot of stuff there. Make sure you don't move it around too much. Someone may notice that it's been tampered with. Leave no traces. That's common sense when infiltrating a target, right? Push the crawl button as you're running to go into a tumble and a forward roll. Make good use of it. Maybe when you need to move from cover to cover quickly. If you tilt the left stick at a smaller angle, you'll be able to walk more slowly and stealthily. Speed isn't everything. Try moving over noisy surfaces this way. You can hold someone at gunpoint by getting behind his back with your gun ready. What you choose to do with a hostage, making no resistance after that, is up to you. Look at the TV over there. It's showing the hold.
So that's...
The new Metal Gear.
Why are they broadcasting this?
They probably want to keep a record of this exercise. And maybe give a little presentation.
Presentation?
That ship's been transmitting a live video feed via military satellite uplink for a while now.
So there's some brass out there smacking their lips over this little home movie.
I've been trying to pinpoint the receiving location, but I haven't had much luck. There's a heavy-duty firewall in the way. I'll try some more, though.
Wherever it is, it must be a warm, dry office with hot coffee on tap.
Far cry from that tanker, huh? That's what happens when the battlefield has a revolution in military affairs. Snake, how long are you gonna stand around watching TV? Get back to the mission! Snake, how long are you... You can aim the handgun with the weapon button, then lower it without firing if you click the left stick. It saves ammunition, and besides, it could be useful after you've disarmed an enemy at gunpoint.
Freeze. Freeze.
Are you going to shoot me? If you're going to do it, then do it.
Freeze. Freeze.
No!
Please don't. Freeze.
Don't kill me.
I'll explain how to use the camera. That digital camera you have was specially made to take pictures of the prototype Metal Gear. When a picture is taken, the screen data is first stored in the camera's internal memory. Then it's automatically processed through various algorithms to protect against tampering. Each picture is electronically stamped and distinctively encrypted. So in the off chance that someone alters the data during transmission, we'll know immediately. Oh, there's a limit to the internal memory's capacity. If the memory becomes full, overwrite the pictures you don't need anymore. When you're ready to take a shot, use the L1 and R1 buttons to scroll left or right among the picture previews at the bottom of the screen. Snake, there should be a door into the holds in the northwest section of the engine room. Head west. Okay, now, infiltrate the holds and get those photographs of the new Metal Gear. Head downstairs. Okay, now. Snake, Metal Gear is in the holds below the tanker's deck. Go down.
Freeze.
Don't shoot! going to shoot me?
Please don't.
Freeze.
Don't kill me.
Are you going to shoot me?
Repair of the entranceway to the engine room on the port side is complete. We'll return to position following patrol of the small room on the port side.
Freeze. Good.
Verrazano Bridge checkpoint passed. All non-essential personnel report to the holds in 10 minutes' time for the scheduled briefing session with the Commandant. You are ordered to continue manning your posts until that time.
Somebody there? Who's there? Don't sneak up on me like that. Nah, it was just my imagination playing tricks on me.
Freeze.
Don't kill me.
Nothing to report. Nothing to report.
Freeze.
No! Please don't.
We have sealed the stern hatch. The lift is also under our control.
We're on the foredeck, about to descend to the holds.
Sir, the Marine Commander has started his speech already.
We will complete the preparations before the end of the speech.
All communications to the holds have been severed. No one is aware of our presence.
Let no one down into the holds until we are out.
Yes, sir. We will secure your exit, with our lives if necessary.
There is one more thing.
Yes, sir.
My daughter, keep her safe.
Yes, sir.
Who goes there?
goes there? Oh, Shalashaska. Why are you here? We thought you were with the Colonel. What the...
The Colonel will be joining you soon, comrade.
Snake, are you in yet? Have you made it to the holds?
It's taking longer than I expected. We've already passed the Verrazano Bridge.
All right, we'll use another recovery point.
They may be planning to change course.
What?
The exits to the deck are all sealed.
What are they planning?
If they get Metal Gear, we're going right off the fringe.
You're all familiar with the Shadow Moses.
The men down here are definitely Marines.
The current state of nuclear...
If the deck is sealed off, they have no way of knowing that the ship's been taken over.
I'm not interested in fighting these guys. The weapons won't do me much good here.
Can you see Metal Gear?
No. I'll have to go around to the bow. They have some serious defenses here. I doubt the recent arrivals want to blast their way through the Marines either.
Wonder where they're headed?
I don't know. Not the beach, that's for sure.
Okay, Snake. Let's go over this one more time. Use this camera to get photographic evidence of the Metal Gear prototype. Now do your thing and take pictures that speak louder than the government's plausible denials. We need 4 shots. Metal Gear from the front right, and front left, and a close-up of the Marine Corps marking.
Marking?
There should be a Marine's insignia on the body of Metal Gear. Just let someone try explaining away a clear shot of that.
All right.
There's actually one little thing.
Just spit it out. I'm used to things going wrong.
It looks like someone's monitoring our transmission.
Who?
I don't have a clue. All they're doing is watching. It would creep me out less if they tried to interfere with our communications.
Could it have something to do with that cipher we saw?
Maybe. I've switched the encryption protocol for our burst transmission for now. What I want to do is use a different method for sending these photos, just in case.
Instead of using the codec?
Exactly. There's a workstation in the southeast corner of the block where Metal Gear is housed. I've made arrangements so that you can send the pictures from the machine.
Arrangements?
I hitched a ride on Link 16 into U.S. military's proprietary network. Managed to get into that workstation and overwrote a part of the system software so I could remote install a little app I wrote.
Why bother with anything that complicated?
No, it's pretty simple, really. Look, all you have to do is stand in front of the machine and push the action button. The app will automatically launch and download the image data from the camera, split the files, and encrypt them individually. The data packets can then masquerade as...
Okay. So all I have to do is push the action button in front of the computer once I have the pictures, right?
Well, sure, if you put it that way. And one more thing. The Commandant's already begun his speech, but you need to get the pictures before he's done talking. Otherwise, they'll spot you, okay?
How much time do I have?
I hacked into his personal files and took a look at the text of that speech. I'd say you have 7 more minutes. Longer if he throws in a joke or two.
A 7-minute time limit, huh?
Remember, Snake, just the photos, okay?
With these kinds of odds, I won't be making any sudden moves. But that doesn't mean we can just let Metal Gear be hijacked.
Okay, but first the photos.
All right, we'll deal with the rest when we get there.
Stay low.
At the moment, every industrialized nation on the globe knows the specifications for Metal Gear. Worse yet, so do a number of rogue states. They are all working on deploying their own Metal Gear force to compete with the U.S.'s nuclear strike capability. The world is about to see a swarm of these Metal Gear derivatives. We initiated development of Metal Gear Ray as a countermeasure to these pirated weapons forces. The only thing that can stand up to a Metal Gear is, of course, another Metal Gear. With Ray, the hundreds, if not thousands, of Metal Gears that exist all over the world are no longer a threat. The blind rush to nuclear proliferation will be contained, and it will be the Marine Corps and our Ray that will accomplish this. This weapon will render all other Metal Gears obsolete. Nations building up their own Metal Gear force will think twice about their nuclear strategy in the light of the military dominance spelled out by Ray. The shift in the balance of power will mean a new world order, and we, the Marine Corps, will play a central role in its military affairs. Some say that the strategic importance of aircraft carriers will be reduced by the completion of Ray. The opposition from the Navy is an undeniable fact. There is a lot of pressure from Navy brass, especially those with submarine and air background. Not to mention interference from a major player. But this project is vital to the Marine Corps. The enemy is sometimes closer to...
Snake, the tankers hold... and Metal Gear is in the farthest hold. You need to head north. You know the number you're up against. If you're spotted, there's no winning that fight. You have to stay out of their sight, okay?
Home than you think, gentlemen. Always bear that in mind. Ours is not the only military project devoted to Metal Gear development, but it cannot be more different in nature from the Navy's. Theirs is a program that will add fuel to the uncontrolled fire of nuclear proliferation. It is a fact that players in favor of such a policy are attempting to derail our own Ray project. But I promise you that they will not succeed. I have a daughter, and it is my greatest wish never to have her or her children experience the horror of nuclear war. As a father, I want to leave a better world for the future generation. As a soldier, I know that is my duty.
Snake, you okay? Snake! Snake!
At the moment, every industrialized nation on the globe knows the specifications for Metal Gear. Worse yet, so do a number of rogue states. They are all working on deploying their own Metal Gear force to compete with the U.S.'s nuclear strike capability. The world is about to see a swarm of these Metal Gear derivatives. We initiated development of Metal Gear Ray as a countermeasure to these pirated weapons forces. The only thing that can stand up to a Metal Gear is, of course, another Metal Gear. With Ray, the hundreds, if not thousands, of Metal Gears that exist all over the world are no longer a threat. The blind rush to nuclear proliferation will be contained, and it will be the Marine Corps and our Ray that will accomplish this. This weapon will render all other Metal Gears obsolete. Nations building up their own Metal Gear force will think twice about their nuclear strategy in the light of the military dominance spelled out by Ray. The shift in the balance of power will mean a new world order, and we, the Marine Corps, will play a central role in its military affairs. Some say that the strategic importance of aircraft carriers will be reduced by the completion of Ray. The opposition from the Navy is an undeniable fact. There is a lot of pressure from Navy brass, especially those with submarine and air background. Not to mention interference from a major player. But this project is vital to the Marine Corps. The enemy is sometimes closer to home than you think, gentlemen. Always bear that in mind. Ours is not the only military project devoted to Metal Gear development, but it cannot be more different in nature from the Navy's. Theirs is a program that will add fuel to the uncontrolled. It is a fact that players in favor of...
Snake, the tanker's holds are divided into 3 separate blocks, and Metal Gear is in the farthest hold. You need to head north. You know the number you're up against. If you're spotted, there's no winning that fight. You have to stay out of their sight, okay?
Such a policy are attempting to derail our own raid project. But I promise you that they will not succeed. This turned out to be longer than expected. At ease. Rest a little. To move on, I have a daughter, and it is my greatest wish never to have her or her children experience the horror.
Metal Gear.
The Sears administration. The current state of nuclear proliferation is a direct result of that event.
Metal Gear.
Metal Gear Ray is amphibious. Unlike the Army's Rex, it can cruise deep underwater, move in undetected and make its landing on any shoreline. Its onboard Joint Tactical Information Distribution System identifies targets with unerring...
Okay, we're finally there.
So, this is the new Metal Gear.
Yep, and we're gonna show the whole world its baby pictures. Get the prototype on camera. We need 4 images. One from the front right, the front, and the front left, and a close-up of the Marines marking on the prototype. Once you have the photos, use the workstation in the southeast end of the area to transmit them over to me. Send me something I can use.
Accuracy, and takes them out with massive firepower. It is the ultimate weapon. And it is yours to guard. I'd like you all to think about what that means. Ours is not the only military project devoted to Metal Gear development, but it cannot be more different in nature from the Navy's. Theirs is a program that will add fuel to the uncontrolled fire of nuclear proliferation. I seem to be repeating myself. Chalk it up to old age. This new model of Metal Gear is codenamed Ray, after the great man. Our ray has a sting that nature never gave the matter. With this latest Metal Gear, we can rule the sea and land as we never have before. We have intelligence that there are anti-Metal Gear terrorists planning to target the ship. Intruder to the left! Intruder in the back! Intruder to the right! Should that actually happen, I expect you to be prepared. We cannot and will not give up Ray. Stay on your guard at all times.
Freeze.
To move on, George Sears surrendered his presidency in the aftermath of Shadow Moses. The official reason given did not, of course, include the development of Metal Gear Rex and next-generation nuclear warheads.
Freeze.
But even you will have heard rumors that he was forced to resign after the failed cover-up costed his influence in the political community. The Metal Gear Rex development on Shadow Moses was supposedly the first preparatory measure taken against the future possibility of reduced nuclear defense capability. NMD technology leaked to other nations would make that contingency likely. But if this theory is correct, it means that there was a calculated intent to cash in on this opportunity by specific interests within the military-industrial complex. We are here today to flush out and rid our country of these corrupting forces. That is our mission. You will bear that in mind.
Freeze.
The proliferation and development of Metal Gear technology are about to render agreements like the NPT and START obsolete.
Once you've got the photos, use the workstation in the southeast end of that room to send them over to me. But if they aren't what we need, I'm gonna have to ask you to take another set.
There are also forces at work trying to exploit. The human race is about to slide back into the endless arms race of that last century. And we cannot afford to play that Russian roulette again. The Metal Gear Ray you see is here to prevent that possibility. The brain drain of nuclear specialists and the black market trade in weapons grade plutonium has been fueling a cottage industry in nuclear weapons since late last century. Add Metal Gear to the mix, and the result is the renewed proliferation you see the world over.
Freeze.
Well, good job, Snake. It's all your fault, dude. You couldn't just turn around and aim your gun at the guy. Nah, now you're caught.
Snake, respond! Snake! Snake!
How much progress did I lose? And how pissed off am I going to be? Let's see. Oh, very pissed off.
Unlike the Army's Rex, it can cruise deep underwater.
Thanks a lot, Snake. You fucking jerk. You fucking suck.
Its onboard Joint Tactical Information Distribution System identifies targets with unerring accuracy, and takes them out.
Well, at least the dog tags in here are done.
It is the ultimate weapon, and it is yours to guard. I'd like you all to think about what that means. This new model of Metal Gear is codenamed Ray, after the great Manta Ray. Our Ray has a sting that nature never gave the Manta. With this latest Metal Gear, we can rule the sea and land as we never have before. George Sears surrendered his presidency in the aftermath of Shadow Moses. The official reason, but even you have heard rumors that he was forced to resign after the failed cover-up costed his influence in the political community. This weapon will render all other Metal Gears obsolete. Nations building up their own Metal Gear force will think twice about their nuclear strategy in the light of the military dominance spelled out by Ray. I seem to be repeating myself. Chalk it up to old age. The Metal Gear Rex development on Shadow Moses was supposedly the first preparatory measure taken against the future possibility of reduced nuclear defense capability. NMD technology leaked to other nations would make that contingency likely. But if this theory is correct, it means that there was a calculated intent to cash in on this opportunity by specific interests within the military-industrial complex. We are here today to flush out and rid our country of these corrupting forces. That is our mission. You will bear that in mind. The proliferation and development of Metal Gear technology are about to render agreements like the NPT and START obsolete. There are also forces at work trying to exploit this disturbing trend to further their own power and influence. The human race is about to slide. The human race is about to slide back into the endless arms race of that last century. And we cannot afford to play that Russian roulette again. The Metal Gear Ray you see is here to prevent that possibility. The brain drain of nuclear specialists in the black market trade and weapons trade, plutonium, has been fueling a cottage industry in nuclear weapons since late last century. Add Metal Gear to the mix, and the result is the renewed proliferation you see the world over. We once lived in the shadow of the Doomsday Machine. This Metal Gear Ray can bring other Metal Gears under control and ensure that we never know that fear again. We, the Marines, will be the guardians of this peace. This Metal Gear Ray is a prototype designed to be operated by an onboard pilot. In its final form, Ray will be unmanned, driven by tele-existence and an autonomous control system. The importance of next-generation technology such as C4ISR and RMA in a battle situation has been discussed time and again. But Ray is the first to deploy it so fully. With Ray's completion, the Marine Corps will lead the way for a new age of military tactics. The National Missile Defense Program was initiated in the
So, any codec moments from you, Snake? Okay, first up. Okay, this works. It's a great front view. The next one's... I'm sorry, you need to take another one. The next image is...
We, the Marines, will lead the charge into a new world order with Metal Gear Ray. That is all. Dismissed.
Excellent speech, my friend.
Who the...
Gift of the silver tongue. They say it's the mark of a good officer. And of a liar. Americans are too in love with the sound of their own voice to speak the truth.
Identify yourself.
I am Shalashaska, also called Revolver Ocelot.
What do you want?
This machine will be quite useful.
What are you planning to do? Steal this thing?
Steal? No, I'm taking it back. Lukovich. Nobody move. Understood? This ship now carries enough Simtex on its key structural points to blow it out of the water at the touch of this button. That's right. No one has to die needlessly. We're almost at the target. Get a move on.
What do you intend to do with Ray? Sell it on the streets?
I was raised in Snezinsk, formerly known as Chelyabinsk 70, the nuclear research outpost.
What are you talking about?
After the Cold War ended, my home was bought out by the Americans.
Is there a point to this sad story?
Not you would understand. Land, friends, dignity, all sold to the highest bidder, the United States of America. Even the technology that gave birth to these weapons is Russian, developed by us.
What do you intend to do?
Russia will rise again. And Ray is the key.
I regret to inform you that I have no intention of selling Metal Gear. As I said, I came to take it back. Yes, returned to the Patriots.
The Lale Lule Lo. How's that possible?
Ocelot, have you sold us out?
I was never in your employ, Gurlukovich.
Are you still in league with Solidus?
No hard feelings, Colonel. Mother Russia can rot for all I care.
Since when, Ocelot? When did you turn?
I'm glad you noticed, comrade. I abandoned her during the Cold War.
Ah!
Metal Gear only has room for one! Gurlukovich, you and your daughter will die here.
Damn you!
Sergei, looks like you were long overdue for retirement.
Traitorous dog!
Show's over. If you wish to live, I suggest you run now. This ship is still in the lower New York harbor. You may yet make it to shore if you swim for your life.
It's been a while, brother.
Who are you?
You know who I am.
Liquid?
Not so young anymore, eh, Snake? You're drowning in time. I know what it's like, brother. No wonder Naomi passed you over for the Fox Die program.
Ouch!
Get out of my mind, Liquid! The price of physical prodigy. Few more years and you'll be another dead clone of the old man. Our raw materials are vintage, brother. Big Boss was in his late 50s when they created his copies. But I live on through this arm!
Liquid's on.
Snake with this tanker!
Proceeding as planned, sir. Yes, at the location we discussed. Yes, I have photographic evidence of Snake on the scene. The cipher was most useful. I look forward to tomorrow morning's news flash. I would say the Marine Corps' plans are on indefinite hold. Yes, of course, Mr. President.
Snake, do you remember the sinking of that tanker 2 years ago?
Of course.
Terrorists blow a hole in an oil tanker full of crude barely 20 miles off the shore of Manhattan. Your classic nightmare. It didn't take long for the government to put an oil fence around the whole mess. And then that massive offshore cleanup facility went up inside.
The big shell. I hear the cleanup isn't quite over yet.
It takes time. But in the meantime, the shell's become a landmark, a symbol of environmental protection.
Teams Alpha and Bravo. Deploy at the big shell as scheduled.
Approximately 6 hours ago, the big shell was seized by an armed group.
Do we have an ID?
Former members of the Navy SEAL Special Anti-Terrorist Training Squad Dead Cell. Russian private army members may also be involved. It's a highly trained group, and they have the big shell under complete control.
Demands.
$30 billion.
$30 billion? What makes them think they can get that much?
There was a government-sponsored tour going on of the big shell that day.
Hostages, huh?
A VIP from one of the major conservation groups, and one from our own government. The most important person in a sense.
The most important person?
James Johnson.
The president?
Unless the demands are met, the terrorists intend to blow the big shell out of the water.
And the crude will ignite, turning the Manhattan Harbor into an inferno.
That's not the worst-case scenario. If the chlorides being used to decontaminate the seawater go up with the oil, toxins containing catastrophic levels of dioxins will be released. In other words, the bay's ecosystem will be wiped out, and the sea will turn into a toxic soup for centuries, becoming the worst environmental disaster in history. You have 2 mission objectives. 1, infiltrate the offshore decontamination facility Big Shell and safeguard the president and other hostages. And 2, disarm the terrorists by any means necessary. You should know that SEAL Team 10 is also conducting a rescue operation.
Is this a joint effort?
No. Foxhound remains a covert body. Don't alert them to your presence. That is an order.
This is Snake. I'm now inside Strut A of Shell 1.
How are things?
We're in luck. Looks like there are no sentries posted here.
What's the visibility?
The lights on the plant struts are functioning. I won't have to use the IR goggles.
Any problems?
There was a brand new hole cut through the oil fence. There's someone else besides me that wanted to get in badly.
That's not possible.
What about SEAL Team 10?
They landed on the roof of the Big Shell as planned. And by the way, Snake, we're changing your code name for all following communication.
What's wrong with Snake?
Just a precaution. You are now designated Raiden. All right, Raiden. You've already covered infiltration and VR training.
I've completed 300 missions in VR. I feel like some kind of legendary mercenary.
Okay, we'll skip that part. Make sure nobody sees you. If you need to, contact me by codec. The frequency is 140.85. When you want to use the codec, push the select button. When we need to reach you, contact you, the codec will beep. When you hear that noise, press the select button. The codec's receiver directly stimulates the small bones of your ear. No one but you will be able to hear it.
All right. I'll contact you if anything changes.
First, make your way to the upper section of the Big Shell.
How do I get up to the next level?
There's an elevator at the far end of that area. Use that.
Sounds good.
Your new sneaking suit uses electrofiber technology, a byproduct of fiber optics research. The texture isn't far removed from rubber, but the material protects against a wide range of toxic substances. The suit itself has a wide array of built-in sensors. It is referred to as smart skin in military R&D. Data about damage to different regions of the body, including blood loss, is exchanged between the suit and the intravenous nanomachines to create a feedback system.
There's a lot of pressure on my torso.
Relax. The suit applies varying pressure to major internal organs to maximize performance and safeguard their functions. They call this the skull suit in Foxhound.
Skull suit seems appropriate somehow.
The hatch with a circular handle will open into the elevator area. Locate the hatch first.
Copy that. Moving on to main mission objectives.
Got your feet wet? These are the basic controls for swimming. Stroke the water and move forward by pushing the punch button. Push it in rapid succession to swim faster. Change your heading with the left stick. Up will take you up, down takes you lower, left and right to face those directions. The O2 gauge will appear under your life gauge while you're underwater. The gauge corresponds to the amount of air you can hold from a single deep breath. Once the O2 gauge falls to 0, the life gauge will start to drop. You need to be aware of that.
Colonel, I've sighted an enemy sentry. AN-94 and a Makarov. Those grenades, all his equipment, is Russian-made.
Must be a Gorlukovich man.
Gorlukovich?
A Russian private army that was in line to work with the Shadow Moses takeover group 4 years ago.
What's their stake in this one?
They must have made a deal, an arrangement with the terrorists. They become a band of mercenaries, an army without a country.
Colonel, there's definitely another intruder in here besides me.
That's not a possibility.
Not a team. Looks like a solo job.
One man?
We may not know who he is, but he managed to take care of every sentry in the area. They're all out cold. Whoever he is, he's got some skills.
We need to get an ID. But for now, you can take advantage of the situation and get to work. There's a terminal in front of the elevator. A node.
Did you say nerd?
Not nerd. Node.
Oh.
Use the node to gain access to the Big Shell's facilities network.
Then what?
Pull up the map of the structure. That'll let you activate the Soliton radar.
The Soliton radar? True. That radar came in useful during VR training.
A radar system uses biological magnetic fields as input. These estimated enemy positions are projected onto a map according to reference points collected via GPS signals and field personnel reports. We need to get to the map through the Big Shell's node to put this data processing to practical use. The node unit is about 3 feet high, should be colored blue. Each area has at least one.
How do I gain access?
Just push the action button in front of the node. The nanomachines in your body will take care of the security clearance and allow you access to the node. Complete the procedure before those sentries gain consciousness. If they spot you, you won't be able to gain access for a while. Stay on guard.
Got it.
Raiden, you won't be able to use any of the enemy's equipment.
Why not?
You should know that all active weapons are equipped with a personal identification system. The owner enters their required user ID information during the weapon registration or at the start of a mission. If anyone other than the registered user tries to fire the weapon, the ID system will not authorize the action.
But these are black market Russian weapons. How can they be equipped with identification functionality?
They must have been customized by the terrorists themselves. These are professionals we're dealing with, and they certainly won't let their own equipment be used against them.
I'm guessing it's the same for the Navy SEALs gear?
Right.
How am I supposed to procure weapons then?
Find the ones that haven't yet been individualized. Everything you find in the item box is clean. You should know this from your VR training.
Okay, I know those.
Items in the item box are yours to use at will. They will be your supply source with regards to weaponry and gear.
Good work, Raiden.
The radar should be functioning now?
Remember your VR training sessions. The tool is exactly the same one. It maps the terrain as well as the position of enemy personnel. The bright dot in the middle is you, Raiden. The red dots are your enemies, and the blue cone shape represents their field of vision. Your radar isn't affected by the weather, but if you're discovered by an enemy, you won't be able to use it. It gets jammed easily, I'm afraid. It's all made from currently existing technology. You won't be able to use it in an area with strong harmonic resonance, so be careful. The Big Shell's layout map should now be available after touching the Start button.
How do I save the mission data?
I've set aside a proprietary frequency for saves, and an analyst to work on the data too.
Jack, is everything all right?
What are you doing here?
Jack, can you hear me?
Rose, you're not supposed to be involved. What's going on?
Jack, I'm a part of this mission.
Colonel, what the hell is going on?
Raiden, meet the mission analyst. She'll be overseeing the data saving and support.
Why her?
The Foxhound analyst that was supposed to take part in this mission was in an accident. Rosemary was brought in as a replacement.
An accident?
And according to the files, she knows you better than anybody else.
Rose may be in the service, but an intelligence analyst is no field officer.
Not to worry. She has our technical staff at her disposal.
She's never been a part of a field mission. This is insane.
I have my own reasons for selecting her for this mission, soldier.
Colonel, I fail to see...
I know your VR training performance in and out, but sometimes that's not enough. You're familiar with the Shadow Moses incident?
You know I covered it in VR.
If there's a crucial tactical detail that case taught us, it was the power of the operative's will to survive.
I was trained to fight. My personal feelings have no place in a mission.
We've learned that it doesn't work that way. And on the field, you need all the help you can get.
Jack, you're stuck with me whether you like it or not.
Rose.
You need someone to watch your back. But I have conditions that need to be met, Colonel.
What is it?
I'll perform my duties and save that mission data, but I'm aware that technically I'm not part of the mission control team. After all, I'm just a normal girl who's worried about Jack. But that means, Colonel, that I am not required to follow your orders outside of my immediate duties. Jack is not simply a field personnel for me to track. His safety comes first to me, not the mission. And because of that, I will be monitoring and keeping a record of every communication you have with him, Colonel.
Given the circumstances, you're free to do what you see fit.
Hey, I prefer this to being kept in the dark waiting.
I'd like to make a request, if I may.
Of course.
His handle is Raiden. For the duration of the mission, could you call him that?
Yes, sir. All right, Raiden. Let me know when you're ready to turn in a save. The proprietary save frequency is 140.96. I just switched frequencies. Jack?
What?
Do you know what day it is tomorrow?
April 30th. Is there something special about it?
Isn't there?
I can't remember. I'm sorry.
Oh well. I'll keep trying till I hear the answer. I'm gonna let you go now, Jack. Take care.
Raiden, the enemy sentry is regaining consciousness.
Be careful, Jack.
Find somewhere to hide until the elevator arrives. You must stay out of sight.
I'm under enemy fire! Secure the perimeter! Stay on lookout. It's the other! I need help! What's going on? Respond! Answer me, you better not be asleep! Wake up!
The terrorists call themselves Sons of Liberty.
Sons of Liberty?
The name of their leader is Solid Snake.
The hero of Shadow Moses? So that's why you changed my code name.
Right, but he can't be the Solid Snake. He died 2 years ago on that tanker after he blew it sky high.
Could he have survived?
Not a chance.
Colonel, I'm on the roof. There are no sentries, but it would only take one to spot me in this light.
You never had daylight VR training after all. Stay extra sharp until you can find a node to log in from.
What about the commandos?
SEAL Team 10 has landed on struts B and C.
And the President?
Seems he was spotted on strut B.
Strut B?
The big shell is comprised of shells 1 and 2. Each unit consists of a central core and 6 struts surrounding it.
So the whole thing is shaped like 2 hexagons connected end on end.
Exactly. And you're on the roof of strut A, shell 1 at the moment. First, get to a node. Log into the network.
Got it.
Raiden, look at that wire fence. You may be able to crawl through it. Crouch down using the crawl button. Then push the left stick in the direction you want to move. Push the crawl button again to stand up. You can use weapons even while crawling. This is different from VR training, so you keep that in mind.
Raiden, SEAL Team 10 is in.
Do we really have no line of communication with the SEALs?
They don't know a thing about us. You know we work in the dark, and this mission is no exception. Only a few people know about your presence here. There's no need for concern. This operation is under Pentagon's direct command, and the NSDD came from the Vice President and the Secretary of Defense. Your mission may be top secret, but it's gone through the usual channels.
I'll go check the roof. I'll leave the first floor to you, okay?
Understood.
Colonel, I've located the node, but it's under heavy surveillance. I can't get in any closer.
Distract them. Try making some noise to draw their attention away.
How?
Flatten yourself against a wall and hit the punch button.
Got it.
According to the SEAL Team 10's communications, the President was sighted on Strut B. Raiden, head for Strut B. It's to the northwest of Strut A, your current location. There's a door on the northwest end of this floor. You can get onto the connecting bridge between Struts A and B through there. Cross the A-B connecting bridge to Strut B.
Raiden, watch out. There are sentries posted on the connecting bridge. They will spot you if you continue on course.
Any recommendations?
Use the hanging mode.
Hanging?
Face any waist-high railing and push the action button to clear the railing and hang over the side. Once there, you can move sideways while keeping out of enemy sight.
All right, I'm giving it a try.
Don't forget the grip gauge. It will keep decreasing during a hanging maneuver, and once it runs out, you will fall.
Copy that.
Wait a second. I just intercepted new intelligence on the operation being executed by SEAL Team 10.
Intercepted?
As I said before, they need to be kept in the dark about our presence.
So we just listen in?
I'm patching it through.
This is Alpha Zero. We have the President. Is he safe? He is safe. What about the package? Tell the guys upstairs that we've secured the package. Easy money. Good work. Your retrieval is on the way. Come on home. Roger that. Holy! Alpha Zero, report. Damn it, cover the President! Come in, Alpha Zero. This is Alpha Zero. We're under attack. This is crazy. Is that... Alpha Zero, respond. All Alpha, respond.
Raiden, the President's life is in danger. Head to Strut B now. Raiden, watch your back. That's a cipher, a type of UAV. If it spots you, it will alert enemy personnel. Exercise extreme caution. But you can use chaff to set up an interference field. That'll knock its sensors offline for a while. Try to locate some chaff. You can also destroy the engine or the camera. Some of the UAVs may be armed. Be careful.
Freeze!
Are you going to shoot me?
Freeze!
Are you going to...
Freeze!
What are you?
Raiden, the President should be somewhere in Strut B where you are now. His life is in danger. Hurry!
respond!
Are you?
Five today. Or rather, 6.
Get down!
Where is he?
Strange smell. You smell like... Are you?
It has to be. Shoot him! What are you waiting for?
Vamp,
Yeah, Queen?
are you all done cleaning up?
Yes, but wait till I tell you what I found.
Something interesting?
I'll tell you in person. Where are you?
In the central unit with the president.
Be right there.
Hold on. I'm not an enemy. Calm down. My name is Pliskin. Iroquois Pliskin. Lieutenant Junior Grade.
Are you a Navy SEAL? How did you get in?
Fast rope descent from a Navy chopper.
Have I seen you before?
That suit. Are you Foxhound?
That's right.
Foxhound was disbanded. Huh? Where were you before Foxhound? Delta Force?
I was part of the Army's Force 21 trials.
Force 21? That's about tactical IT deployment, right? Any field experience?
No, not really.
So this is your first.
I've had extensive training, the kind that's indistinguishable from the real thing.
Like what?
Sneaking mission 60, weapons 80, advanced...
VR, huh?
But realistic in every way.
A virtual grunt of the digital age, that's just great.
That's far more effective than live exercises.
You don't get injured in VR, do you? Every year, a few soldiers die in field exercises.
There's pain sensation in VR and even a sense of reality and urgency. The only difference is it isn't actually happening.
That's the way they want you to think, to remove you from the fear that goes with battle situations. War is a video game. What better way to raise the ultimate soldier?
So you're saying that VR training is some kind of mind control?
Raiden, what's going on?
The Alpha team from Navy SEAL 10 is dead. No, a single survivor.
The kid's wired with nanomachines.
What about the President?
Looks like they took him somewhere else.
I see. You said there was a survivor from SEAL Team 10.
Yeah. Lieutenant J.G. Pliskin.
Has he seen your face?
What?
This is a top-secret mission. No one can know that we're involved.
It's a little too late for that. What's up?
Take a look.
What the hell?
A Navy captain.
You all right?
Give me a few minutes. Must have lost a few more pints than I thought.
What was that man just now?
That blood-sucking freak? That was Vamp. He's Romanian, a wizard with knives, as you saw.
The way he moved didn't seem human.
You won't see that in VR, I guarantee.
What is he?
One of the members of Dead Cell.
Dead Cell? Him?
A special forces unit created by ex-President George Sears. The name was originally intended to reflect its anti-terrorist functions. The unit would launch unannounced assaults on government complexes for the ultimate terrorism simulation. They were needed to show VR troopers like you how to deal with the real thing. But around the time their original leader died in prison, the unit began to unravel. They were always close to the edge, but they became more and more extreme, began to go after US allies, even civilians. We estimate that no fewer than 100 people died as a result of accidents the Dead Cell arranged on their own. They were out of control, and it all came to a head 6 months ago.
What happened?
The unit was devastated. There are only 3 left now, and you just saw one of them.
Why would they go after the big shell?
How should I know? I told you they were on the lunatic fringe.
What about their leader? He says he's Solid Snake.
Snake died 2 years ago.
You mean the incident that made this big shell necessary in the first place?
Right, and he was the one that sank that tanker.
But he's a legend.
Legends are usually bad news. There's not a lot of difference between heroes and madmen.
You're saying Snake is still alive and pulled another one?
No, he's not involved in this one. His body was positively ID'd 2 years ago.
Snake is dead.
And buried.
What about the other soldiers? I saw Russian equipment too.
Former Soviet military. They're probably mercenaries. The big shell is too much ground for just Dead Cell members to hold down. You weren't briefed on any of this? And you came in alone to boot? Why? What are you really doing here? Can't tell me, huh? Fine with me.
I don't smoke.
Keep it anyway. May come in handy. Take this, too.
Come in, Alpha Zero. This is Bravo Zero, currently at the bridge between struts B and C. The President is... Damn, I can't hit this thing. It's like some bad dream. Alpha, anyone, come in, all Alpha. This is Bravo Zero.
Aren't you going to answer him?
The BC connecting bridge.
We need to get there. Can you handle it?
I need a few more minutes. Remember my frequency. It's 141.80.
141.80. Got it.
I've been briefed on this plan's layout. If you need information on the place or about Dead Cell, contact me. You're using nano communication, right?
Yeah, but I can patch into your frequency.
Hey, what's your name?
Raiden.
Raiden? Strange code name.
Makes up for the boring one my parents gave me.
Maybe I'll find out someday.
Raiden, SEAL Team 10 has engaged someone on the BC Connecting Bridge. The President is most likely there as well. The BC Connecting Bridge is on the north side of Strut B. The President is in danger. Go now. You're currently using artificial blood primed with nanomachines.
What did you do with my own blood?
It's being kept in cold storage. It will be circulated back into your body when you return. If the life gauge drops to the red zone, you won't be able to stop the bleeding by yourself. Bloodstains can give your presence away to the enemy. Be careful. To stop the flow, select the bandage from among your items. You can also go into a crouch or crawl and stay completely still for a while. All you have to do is stop moving for a duration of time, and your nanomachines will arrange for platelets to be produced in large numbers. The bleeding will stop as a result.
Jack, it's me.
Everything okay, Rose?
Don't you need to save the mission data?
Oh yeah, thanks for the reminder.
Jack, do you remember what day tomorrow is?
That again. I'm sorry, but I still don't have a clue.
That's okay.
What is it, Rose? Talk to me.
I'd rather you figure it out. It's important.
How important?
Important enough? And we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Why not now?
Tomorrow seems more appropriate. I need all the help I can get so that I won't chicken out anyway.
Is that the reason you decided to be part of this mission? Okay, I'm gonna finish this thing by tomorrow no matter what.
You know I'll do everything I can to help you.
Rose, there's something I need you to do as an analyst.
What is it?
It has to do with Solid Snake. The leader of this takeover incident is claiming that he's Snake himself.
The legendary mercenary?
I need as much data on him as possible. Everything they have on him after the Shadow Moses incident.
He's dead now, isn't he?
Yes. Should be a burial record somewhere, too. You should be able to request top-level security clearance from the Colonel. That should get us into the most classified material.
I'm on it. I'll contact you as soon as I find out something.
He's asleep? How much longer is this guy gonna sleep?
Wish I were that relaxed. He's still sleeping.
Liquid!
Huh?